right, thanks, guys. Unfortunately, yesterday we went just 2-3 in our premium selections on patreon.com/Brock Page. Not a great day, not something we're looking forward to do. We did improve to 63% in our last 24 board member package plays. We're also hitting at 69% in our last 14 college basketball package plays on that site. So we're still doing very well in many different packages on that site. But like I said, 2-3 is not what we're looking to do, and we are looking to bounce back and improve here today. But like I said, doing great in a lot of different packages, a lot of folks making money. You can check out that current website in the description section below. Link for that site is in the description section below. That is patreon.com/Brock Page. All right, we have a full slate of NHL action, a very big slate of NHL action. So let's get into it, beginning with the Lightning taking on the Panthers. 7 o'clock Eastern puck drop in Florida. The Panthers are the $1.15 favorite, total 6.5. We saw a nickel move toward Florida. No movement on the total as of yet. The Panthers open $1.10 up to -115, total 6.5. 55% are leaning Tampa Bay, 72% shaded toward the over. Right now the Lightning are -105 on the money line. Florida +215 on the puck line. Bobrovsky for the Panthers, Vasilevsky for the Lightning. Florida's 3-1 straight up in their last four, 9-4-2 at home. They rank at the top 5 in scoring, top 10 in home offensive shots. Tampa Bay on the other side, losers in 5 out of their last 7. They're also just 5-9 against the spread on the road. And of course, when I refer to the spread in the NHL, I'm referring to the puck line. So once again, Tampa Bay just 5-9 against the spread when traveling this year. They rank at the bottom 10 in goals allowed. 11 out of Florida's last 15 got over the total at home. I'm going to lean Panthers -115 and the over 6.5 in that contest. Next game, it is going to be Montreal taking on the Penguins, 7 o'clock Pittsburgh. The Pens are the $1.60 favorite, total at 6.5. We saw a 10-cent fade of Pittsburgh and movement upward on the total. The Penguins open $1.70 down to -160, total open 6 up to 6.5. 66% of the consensus are leaning toward Pittsburgh, 57% shaded toward the over. Right now the Canadiens are +140 on the money line, Pittsburgh +150 laying the goal and a half. We have Matt Murray for the Pens, Carey Price for the Habs. Pittsburgh 12-3-2 at home, top 3 in home goals allowed. Montreal's dropped 8 out of their last 10. They rank in the bottom 5 in goals allowed. Montreal's 8-5 to the over on the road this year. I'm going to lean Penguins -$1.60 and the over 6.5 in that contest. Next matchup, it is going to be Blues, Sabres, 7:30 Buffalo. The Blues are the $1.35 favorite, total 5.5. Saw a nickel move toward St. Louis. The Blues opened $1.30 up to -135, totals 5.5. 55% are leaning St. Louis, 74% shaded toward the over. Right now, Buffalo's +$1.15 on the money line. The Blues are +180 on the puck line. We have Binnington for the Blues, Ullmark for Buffalo. The Blues are 4-2 straight up in their last 6, 10-3-3 on the road, top 5 in goals allowed. Buffalo's dropped 5 out of their last 8 themselves. They rank in the bottom 10 in offensive shots, bottom 10 in defensive shots allowed. Total-wise, Buffalo's 8-6 to the under at home. The Blues are 10-6 to the under when traveling. Give me the Blues -135 and the under 5.5 in that game. Before we go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick timeout and welcome you to the show. Got some lines of personal leans out for Tuesday's NHL action. But before we dive into some more of that, I just want to quickly remind you to check me out on my website at patreon.com/Brock Page, where we do daily premium selections on that website, beginning at just $1.99 per month. We have a bunch of different memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to. We're currently hitting at 63% in our last 24 board member package plays on that site. We're also hitting at 69% in our last 14 college basketball package plays on that site as well. And at the end of this program, I'm going to explain to you the difference between what I do here on YouTube and that Patreon page. But you can actually check out my current Patreon record for free right now. All you have to do is click the link in the description section below. My record's right on the homepage. That is patreon.com/Brock Page. All right, let's go ahead and get into some more free lines of personal leans right here on YouTube. All starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got the lowly Detroit Red Wings taking on the Winnipeg Jets. And that's going to be an 8 o'clock Eastern puck drop in Winnipeg. The Jets are the $2.40 favorite. Totals at 6. Saw a nickel move toward Winnipeg. No movement on the total as of yet. The Jets open 235 up to 240. Totals at 6. 73% are on Winnipeg. 69% on the over. Detroit's plus 205. Winnipeg minus 105 on the puck line. Brassard for Winnipeg. Bernier for Detroit. Winnipeg's 18-10-2 on the year. 8-5-1 at home. Top 10 in goals allowed. Detroit on the other side. They have not won a game in their last 11 straight. 0-11 straight up in their last 11. That is a 11-game losing streak for them. They're just 3-10-2. Let's try that again. They're just 3-10-2 on the road this year. They rank dead last in scoring on average per game, dead last in goals allowed on average per game. 10 out of Winnipeg's last 14 stayed under the number at home. I'm going to lean Winnipeg minus 1.5 in the under 6 goals in that game. Next matchup, Sharks, Nashville, 8 o'clock Nashville. The Predators are the $1.70 favorite, total 6.5. We saw a nickel move toward Nashville in the early wagering. The Preds open $1.65 up to minus 170, total 6.5. 57% are leaning Nashville, 53% shaded toward the under. Right now the Sharks are plus $1.50 on the money line. Nashville plus 145 on the puck line. We have Pecorine for the Preds, Martin Jones for the Sharks. The Preds are ranking in the top 10 in scoring, top 5 in shots. The Sharks on the other side, losers in their last 4 straight. They rank in the bottom 10 in scoring, bottom 3 in goals allowed. 10 out of Nashville's last 17 at home did get over the number. Give me Nashville minus $1.70 and the over 6.5 in that contest. Next matchup, Ducks, Ducks, Wild, 8 o'clock Minnesota. The Wild are the $1.65 favorite, total 5.5. Saw a 15-cent move toward Minnesota in the early going here. The Wild opened $1.50 up to minus 165, totals 5.5. 68% are leaning Minnesota, 72% shaded toward the over. Right now the Ducks are plus 145 on the money line. Minnesota plus 155, laying the goal and a half. We have Stalock for Minnesota, Gibson for Anaheim. Minnesota ranks in the bottom 3 in offensive shots, bottom 10 in goals allowed. Anaheim 9-5 against the spread on the road, top 10 in defensive shots allowed on the road. When it comes to the total, the Ducks are 8-6 to the over when traveling. The Wild 70% to the over at home. I'm going to lean Ducks plus 1.5 and the over 5.5 in that contest. Next matchup, Devils taking on the Stars, 8:30 Dallas. The Stars are the $2 favorite, total 5.5. Saw a 10-cent move toward Dallas in the early wagering. They open $1.90 up to minus 200, totals 5.5. 74% are leaning Dallas, 71% shaded toward the over. Right now the Devils are plus 170 on the money line. Dallas plus $1.30, laying the goal and a half. We have Ben Bishop for the Stars and Mackenzie Blackwood for the Devils. Dallas 2-0 straight up in their last couple of games, 11-4-1 at home. They rank in the top 3 in goals allowed. Now the Devils on the other side, right in the middle of a 5-game losing streak. They also dropped 8 out of their last 10 games. The Devils rank in the bottom 3 in scoring, bottom 3 in goals allowed. Now total-wise, Dallas is 21-10 to the under on the year, 12-4 to the under at home. I'm going to lean Stars minus 1.5 and the under 5.5 in that contest. Next matchup, Flames, Coyotes, 9 o'clock, Arizona. The Coyotes are the $1.35 favorite, total 5.5. We did see a nickel fade of Arizona in the early betting. They opened $1.40 down to minus 135. Total is 5.5. 55% are leaning Flames, 85% shaded toward the over. Right now, Calgary's plus $1.15 on the money line. Arizona plus $1.80, laying the goal and a half. We have Kemper for the Coyotes, Talbot for the Flames. Arizona's bottom 10 in scoring, bottom 5 at home offensive shots. Calgary's won their last 5 straight. Total-wise, the Flames are 14-4 to the under when traveling. Arizona 20-12 to the under overall for the year. Give me the Flames plus $1.15 and the under 5.5 in that contest. Next matchup, it is going to be Hurricanes, Oilers, 9 o'clock, Edmonton. The Canes are the $1.20 favorite, total at 6. 52% are leaning Edmonton, 73% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Oilers are catching even money on the money line. Carolina plus 200, laying the goal and a half. We have Mrazek for the Canes, Koskinen for the Oilers. Edmonton's 8-4-3 at home, top 10 in shots allowed. Carolina on the other side, they've covered the puck line in just 6 out of their last 15 on the road. They also ranked 19th in road scoring. I'm going to lean toward the Edmonton Oilers at home, catching even money, and the under 6 goals in that game. Next matchup, Maple Leafs taking on the Canucks. 10 o'clock, Vancouver. Toronto's minus 120 on the road, total 6.5. 56% are leaning Toronto, 73% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Canucks are catching even money on the money line. Toronto plus $1.85 on the puck line. We have Anderson for the Maple Leafs, Markstrom for Vancouver. The Canucks are 7-3-3 at home, top 10 in scoring, first in home scoring. Toronto 7-9 away from home, bottom 5 in goals allowed, bottom 3 in shots allowed. 11 out of Toronto's last 16 got over the number on the road. Vancouver 9-4 to the over at home. I'm going to lean Vancouver catching even money in the over 6.5 in that matchup. Next game, Blackhawks taking on the Golden Knights, 10 o'clock T-Mobile Arena. The Golden Knights are the $2 favorite at home, total 6.5. So a nickel move toward Vegas, no movement on the total as of yet. Golden Knights open 195 up to minus 200, total 6.5. 70% are leaning Golden Knights, 59% shaded toward the over. Right now, Chicago's plus $1.70 on the money line. Golden Knights plus $1.15, laying the goal and a half. We have Fleury for Vegas, Crawford for Chicago. The Golden Knights are just 5-11 against the spread at home, really struggling on the puck line at the T-Mobile Arena. They also rank 20th in home scoring, bottom 10 in goals allowed at home. Chicago 2-1 straight up in their last 3 games, 9-4 against the spread when traveling. 7 out of Chicago's last 13 stayed under the number on the road. I'm going to lean Chicago plus 1.5 and the under 6.5 in that contest. Next and final matchup for the show, it is going to be Rangers Kings, 10:30 Los Angeles. The Kings are the $1.25 favorite, total at 6. We saw a 10-cent move toward Los Angeles in the early wagering. The Kings open $1.15 up to 125, totals at 6. 61% are leaning Rangers, 58% shaded toward the under. Right now, New York is plus 105 on the money line. The Kings plus 195 on the puck line. We have Quick for the Kings, Lundqvist for the Rangers. The Kings have dropped their last 4 straight. They also rank in the bottom 3 in scoring, bottom 10 in goals allowed. The Rangers on the other side, 6-3 straight up in their last 9. 9-4 ATS on the road. They also rank 11th in road scoring. Now, total-wise, New York is 19-10 to the under on the year, 8-5 to the under when traveling. The Kings are 10-6 to the under at home. I'm going to lean Rangers plus 105 on the road and the under 6 goals in that matchup. All right, let's go ahead and dive into our quick pick recap. Once again, brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage, where we are currently 63% in our last 24 board member package plays on that website. I like the Rangers plus 105 under 6 goals. Vancouver catching even money in the over 6.5. Chicago plus 1.5 under 6.5. Edmonton catching even money under 6 goals. Calgary plus 115 under 5.5. Dallas minus 1.5 under 5.5. Nashville minus 170 over 6.5. Winnipeg minus 1.5 under 6 goals. Anaheim plus 1.5 over 5.5. St. Louis minus 135 under 5.5. Florida minus 115 over 6.5. And last but certainly not least, I like Pittsburgh minus 160 and the over 6.5 in that game. All right, let's go ahead and dive into some shout outs. Once again, brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage, where we are hitting at 69% in our last 14 college basketball package plays on that site. Shout out to Whiplash 95, Drew Bear 76. Shout out to Just Miley, Caillou Rowe D3. Shout out to Sexy B, Edmund Russell, Darren Chambers. Shout out to Stephen Lewis, LeBron 913, Jack Kiefer. Shout out to Salvador Morales, Ephraim Corpus, and Calvin Ballard. Got to give a shout out to C. Chung, FTW, Tenacity Furlan, and Little Big People. Shout out to Evil Dax, Omar Villasenor, and Danny J. Shout out to Daily Sports Grind, Vernon Williard, and last but certainly not least, got to give a shout out to Lane Eternal Master. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Once again, don't forget to check me out on Patreon, where we went 63% our last 24 board member package plays on that site. We're also 69% our last 14 college basketball package plays on that site as well. We do daily premium selections on that website beginning at just $1.99 per month. We also have a bunch of different memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to on that site as well. Now, you're probably wondering, why would I sign up for Patreon when I'm getting all the picks for free right here on YouTube? And that's a very valid concern, a very valid question. Let me explain it to you like this. What we do here on YouTube is we handicap every single game on the board, both the side and the total. Now, you can't win that way. That's not a winning formula. If you were to bet your hard-earned money on every single game, side and total, it's a losing formula. You're going to lose your money in the long run. And as a matter of fact, you're probably going to end up losing your money in the short run as well. The books are too sharp. It's too many games. They're too smart. They have too much money. The math is always against you. It's just really a bad formula for success betting every single game, side and total. So what we do on Patreon is we really narrow it down and focus in on 3 to 4 premium selections per day. They're high percentage selections, games that I personally have action on. And I'll tell you this much, my current record on Patreon is a whole lot better than it is on YouTube, handicapping every single game on the board, throwing darts, side and total. You can actually check out my current record for free right now. All you have to do is click the link in the description section below. That's patreon.com/BrockPage. But most important, guys, I do have to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really do hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. Happy Tuesday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you on patreon.com/BrockPage.